John Patterson believes that he understands Sherman, a little community in Chautauqua County, about 75 miles from Buffalo. He arrived as a young man to take a job as a chemistry and math teacher at Sherman High School. He met his wife Sally about a half-century ago, when she worked as a secretary for the superintendent. The couple ran a family farm, with 100 cows and calves. Once Patterson retired, he spent almost a decade as the village mayor. He resigned last spring, after a chain of surgeries that included amputation of one arm. Patterson, 73, has endured years of pain. The experience taught him certain lessons. When he drops to his knees at night, he said, he asks God to reinforce a quality that Patterson maintains is central to the character of Sherman: forgiveness. With every bit of hope I have, I pray to God that no one will attack him personally, Patterson said, referring to Thomas Jadlowski. He's already going to die 1,000 deaths every day. He's never going to be able to get away from this. Jadlowski, 34, was charged Thursday with manslaughter in the death of Rosemary Bilquist, 43. She was shot to death last week while walking her dogs, near her Sherman home. Jadlowski told Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office investigators he fired at her in the dusk, believing her to be a deer from about 200 yards away. Patterson never met Jadlowski, and he isn't defending a shooting in the dark. He is a hunter, as are many residents of Sherman, a community of about 1,700. For anyone who hunts, there is a powerful responsibility, Patterson said, to follow the letter of the law. The felony charge carries a sentence of up to 15 years in prison. Patterson has faith the courts will come to a wise decision, that Jadlowski, if found guilty, will be sentenced to whatever penalty a judge feels he deserves. Yet Patterson follows the lead of the Reverend Steve Kilburn, who asked the congregation at Bilquist's funeral to try and emulate Rosemary's life without becoming lost in anger, and even Jamie Bilquist, a grieving husband, who told the New York Times that he's not looking for vengeance. There's got to be some kind of lesson. In the same way, Patterson is confident that Sherman, in honoring Rosemary, will find a way to forgive. Stephen Watson, Hunter, faces more serious felony charge in shooting death of Sherman woman. He appreciates firsthand the magnitude of the loss. He taught Rosemary he also knew her father, the late Narbike Jafurjian. Patterson remembers him as a warm and giving man who once drove a backhoe 18 miles on country roads to help the Pattersons when the water lines broke down on their farm. As for Rosemary, he described her as unforgettable, as someone who brought a dose of happiness to everything. It is impossible, Patterson said, to put words to what's been lost. He can close his eyes and envision where she sat in his classroom, 3 rows up and 2 seats over. He recalls how she'd write upbeat notes or pictures that she'd leave for him, after class. You remember the very good ones, he said. It doesn't change his central point. Justice belongs to the courts.